Hey everybody, this is Miss Youngblood here, getting started with today's session for Algebra 1, the first session for Content Week 2, which is double distribution or FOIL. So for Session 1, for this second week of content, we're going to be talking about combining like terms, and we're going to start by looking at this video in Khan Academy together. So let's launch this video together. So in this video, Sol is using a really weird example. Chuck Norris, he was an actor for this old show called Walker, Texas Ranger. I'm sure not that many of you know what that is, but he's just using this as an example to introduce the concept of like terms. So he's saying if you have two Chuck Norrises and three Chuck Norrises, both of these terms are talking about Chuck Norrises. So if we have 2 and 3, when we add them up, how many are we going to have all together? So I'm going to let you guys think about what his final answer will be while I pop back to my students who are in class. Yep. Now let's go ahead and see. Oh, thank you. All right, so like our class said, we're going to have 5 Chuck Norrises. 2 Chuck Norris plus 3 Chuck Norrises are 5 Chuck Norrises. And then he just relates that directly to variables, right? So if we had 2x plus 3x, both of these are talking about the amount of x's we have. So he kind of shows what they look like if you expand them. So again, you would get 5 x's. Any questions on that from my students in class? No? Okay. Let's keep going. So now, he also introduces this vocab word coefficient. So the number in front of the variable is the coefficient. This whole part of the expression is called the term. So there are 2 terms on this side and their coefficients are 2 and 3. So now he's trying to introduce the concept of terms that are not the same, that you can't combine. So let's see. Fast forward a little bit. So now he's using the example of plums. So he drew these ugly little plums here. He says if you have 7 plums and 2 plums, I know it got covered by my energy sign, but right here it says he has 2 plums. We know we can't combine the number of plums with the number of Chuck Norrises, right? So we already know we have 5 Chuck Norrises, and then he's going to go ahead and combine the plums. So what is that going to simplify to? If you have 7 plums, there we go. If you have 7 plums and 2 plums, how many plums are we going to have all together? Go ahead and think about that. Who's writing it out? And as you can see, we're going to get 9 plums. 7 plus 2 gets us 9. He's going to show the same example down here. An example of unlike terms would be 7y and 2y. So for the same reason we couldn't combine the plums with the Chuck Norrises, we can't combine the y's with the x's because they are different terms. They have different variables. They're not the same. But we can combine these two because they both have a y. So this is 7y's plus 2y's, which would get us what? 9y's. Yeah, so 7y's plus 2y's is going to get us 9y's. So we're going to have 5x plus 9y. And that's how you would simplify this expression. So the y's are combined here, the x's are combined here. He's just circling them so you can clearly see that. And then he gives us one more example. So now I want you guys to pause and think about how we simplify this. So my students in class. Okay, so now we're going to keep going to see how Sal finishes this video. Oh no, please go back. I went a little too far back. Here we go. Okay. So we're here. He's going to combine the x's like my students in class said to get 9x. And then 1 plus 5 is going to get him plus 6. So those who are watching later, you should have gotten 9x plus 6. And that's literally all we're doing today. We're doing one additional thing in the assignment, but it's something you guys are already familiar with. So in your Khan Academy assignment, so remember to get to Khan Academy, you would type in khanacademy.org and then sign in. So if you want, I can go through that real quick. It'll probably take me right back here. Yep, so let me sign out just to remind you guys real quick how to sign in. So if I log out, I will go to log in. So then it's easiest to continue with Google. Most of you already know this. I'm just going to show it probably one more time for those who are still struggling with Khan Academy. Make sure you use your YC Schools account. That way it can sync to your later classes. It just makes life easier. Or if you use your personal account forever, I guess that's not that bad. And yeah, so the first assignment we're going to go through, oh, I'm sorry. You also want to make sure you look here for your assignment. So the class we have is Algebra Youngblood. Click on assignments and you'll see your assignments for your algebra class from me. So the first thing you want to go through is combining like terms with negative coefficients. That's the easier one. This is it should be in the same order. It should be the first one, but it should say combining like terms with negative coefficients. So if you want to do yours along while I do mine, that is a great idea. But if not, we'll have time at the end of class. Yep, combining like terms with negative coefficients. Okay, so we have this expression. We have 7p minus -5 plus -1. I'm going to copy this to my clipboard. So let's copy this, or my whiteboard, I should say. Oh, no. Okay, so we have 7p minus -5 plus 1. I'm going to pause the video so that those at home can take a moment to try to. So my students in class, just help me simplify this problem. I think, let me switch to my sketch, yes. We just simplified this problem in class together. So we had 7p minus -5 plus -1. We simplified the signs. When you're subtracting a negative, we get addition. When you're adding a negative, we get subtraction. So it's simplified to 7p plus 5 minus 1. And then we just combine the 5 and -1 because those are our like terms. So 5 minus 1 gets us 4. So our final answer for that first problem would be 7p plus 4. So again, my students in class, help me just solve this. These negatives change to a plus sign. So 4z, go to my browser. For this problem, we just solved this together. 4z plus 3z gets us 7z. So again, all we did was change those negatives to an addition sign. So again, my students in class, help me do this next problem. One student combined the constants, so 2 plus 6 got us 8, and then my other student combined the variables, so we got 3z minus 5z gets us -2z. So again, my students in class, help me do this one. 5 plus -7, n is -2n, and then that 6 came down because there's nothing to combine it with. So we just simplified this one in class together. -4y comes down. -4 plus -3 gets us -7. You could also think of this as -4 minus 3 gets us -7. Wasn't recording. For this problem, my students in class, help me with this. So 2 plus -4 is -2. We could also think of this as 2s minus 4s gets us -2s. Mark here. So again, I'm going to switch back to my sketch screen because we went through one in a little more detail. So we were given this expression, -n plus -4 minus -4n plus 6. We changed this minus a negative into addition. So we did -1n plus 4n, which got us 3n. And then we have this -4 here, which means that we could just change this whole thing to -4. So -4 plus 6 got us 2. So our final simplified answer to this expression was 3n plus 2. So give me one sec. So for my students who aren't here, this is the original problem we're starting with. You have to distribute and then combine like terms. So take a moment to try that yourself, and then you can unpause the video to see if you got it right. So my students in class, just help me simplify this problem. We started by distributing this 2 into the parentheses. So 2 times -1 got us -2n. 2 times -3 got us -6. Then we distributed this -7 into the parentheses. -7 times 5 gets us -35. -7 times 2n gets us -14n. So then we combine like terms. We can combine these two because they both have n's. Negative 2n minus 14n gets us negative 16n. And then negative 6 minus 35 gets us negative 41. So the final answer my students in class helped me come up with was negative 16n minus 41. So our next problem in the set is, I should be able to see it, 2 times negative 2 minus 4p plus 2 times negative 2p minus 1. So again, start with distribution and combine like terms. Go ahead and pause it and try it yourself. So my students in class, just help me finish up this problem. We distributed the 2 into the parentheses to get 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times negative 4p gets us negative 8p. And then we distributed this 2 into this part of the parentheses. So 2 times negative 2p got us negative 4p. 2 times negative 1 got us negative 2. Then my students in class help us simplify it further by combining like terms. So we did negative 4 minus 2, which got us negative 6. And we did negative 8p minus 4p, which got us negative 12p. So our final simplified answer for this expression is negative 6 minus 12p. Our next problem is 7n minus 4n minus 3. So distribute and combine like terms. My students in class, just help me finish this problem. So we distributed this negative 1 into the parentheses. So whenever there's no number in front, you can just put a 1. So negative 1 times 4n got us negative 4n. Negative 1 times negative 3 got us positive 3. We brought down this 7n and then combined our like terms, which were the 7n and negative 4n because they both have n's. So 7 minus 4n gets us 3n. And then we brought down this 3 because there was nothing to combine it with. So our final answer for this problem was 3n plus 3. Okay. This is our next problem. So we're doing 2 times negative 14 plus r minus negative 3r minus 5. So go ahead and try this problem out and see what you get. Distribute and combine like terms. So this is our last problem. We simplified this by distributing the 2. 2 times negative 14 gets us negative 28. 2 times r gets us 2r. Then we distributed this negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 3 gets us 3r. Negative 1 times negative 5 gets us 5. My students in class then helped me combine like terms. So one student saw that we can combine negative 28 and 5 to get negative 23 because they both don't have a variable. And my other student said we could combine 2r and 3r because they both have an r, and that gets us 5r. So our final simplified answer for this expression is negative 23 plus 5r. So if we switch back to Khan Academy, we're going to find that answer, negative 23 plus 5r. It is A. Yes, my students in class took a very good guess. Very good. Yes, so we get 5r minus 23. Notice this is the same thing, even though the order is switched. So 5r minus 23 is our final answer. For this one. He's going out. And check it. Nice. All done. Okay. Show summary. No. Show the summary. Yay, 4 out of 4. We're awesome. Okay. So again, you want to knock out these 2 assignments in Khan Academy. If you are struggling, remember you can always go back and watch the video yourself or try some easier problem sets that I might have skipped, right? So they have a few videos you can watch here if you need more help with this. And always you can reach out when you need assistance. I haven't posted the weekly check-in yet on Google Classroom, but as always, that'll be here as an assignment for you to complete. And I'll make sure to update this and post this video for you guys to watch if you need to review any of the material. Again, keep in mind the weekly schedule or daily schedule. So it is Monday, so you should be going to 1A and 3A today. Tomorrow, you're going to 2B and 4B. So for 2B, I do have prep, so if you want to pop in for an appointment, just let me know so I can open up my Google Hangouts link. Just send me an email or a text if you need extra help and you want to come in for an appointment. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all soon.